Names Iowa's Caitlin Clark Athlete of the Year. Clark follows Lionel Messi, Aaron Judge, and Simone Biles. No unbiased person sees this as a controversial choice. Clark is the main reason women's basketball exploded in popularity. She again won National Player of the Year at Iowa while setting the NCAA career and tournament records for points and leading the Hawkeyes back to the Final Four. A week later, the Fever drafted Clark #1. She led the league in threes, set single and season records for assists, got the Fever back to the playoffs for the first time in 8 years, and won Rookie of the Year. Basketball Reference says Clark has the most viewed WNBA player page and the most viewed college player page. 50 out of 50 states at Iowa and 50 for 50 Fever. She's the face of women's basketball. Clark's impact on attendance and television ratings is, relatively speaking, unlike anything we've seen. In college, virtually all games sold out. In the pros, games moved to bigger arenas.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball star, she's a trailblazer. From draining deep threes to setting attendance records, her impact stretches far beyond the hardwood. Her influence is making waves in the WNBA and beyond, with her recent viral moment at a Taylor Swift concert turning heads everywhere. Love her or not, she's forcing the old guard to take notice. Clark symbolizes a dynamic new chapter in women's sports, cementing herself as its most electrifying figure.
Privilege and the fact that you wanted to uplift Black female athletes and make sure that they were getting the shine, kind of like your pioneers were getting the shine that they deserved. And I just want to know how you feel or how you respond to some of those criticisms when you have to deal with something that it's really not your problem. Like, I feel like it's them looking in a mirror a little bit, but it still comes down on your shoulders.
I feel like I always have had really good perspective on everything that's kind of happened in my life, whether that's been good, whether that's been bad. And then obviously coming to the WNBA, like I've said, I feel like I've earned every single thing that's happened to me over the course of my career. But also, I grew up a fan of this league from a very young age. Like, my favorite player was Maya Moore. Like, I know what this league was about. And like I said, like, it's only been around 25 plus years. So I know there's been so many amazing Black women that have been in this league, and continuing to uplift them, I think, is very important. And that's something I'm very aware of. And like I said,
what truly sets Caitlin Clark apart isn't just her jaw-dropping stats or highlight-worthy plays. It's the way she's reshaping the conversation around sports. She's crossing over into pop culture in a way few athletes ever have. While Taylor Swift brought star power to the NFL, Clark is doing something even more groundbreaking, rewriting the narrative for the WNBA. So, what does this mean for Clark, the league, and her critics who think she's doing too much? If you're here for bold moves, a little drama, and game-changing moments, you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more on the biggest stories in sports. Let's jump.
Chiefs fan since she was a kid, the AP Female Athlete of the Year, and the first overall pick in the WNBA Draft, Rookie of the Year.
From Kansas City to a social media phenomenon, imagine this. Caitlin Clark, fresh off a record-breaking rookie season, casually enjoying a Kansas City Chiefs game alongside Taylor Swift. The internet exploded. This wasn't just a basketball star blending into the crowd. It was Clark sharing the spotlight with one of the most powerful cultural icons of our time. The timing couldn't have been better, with Swift's whirlwind romance, with Travis Kelce dominating headlines. Clark's presence at that game wasn't just a cameo. It was a bold declaration that women's basketball deserves its rightful place in the sports media conversation. Critics rolled their eyes, fans celebrated, and skeptics had their say. Social media buzzed with takes, some calling it a PR move, others seeing it as a genuine connection. But no matter the opinions, one thing was undeniable. Caitlin Clark's star was rising fast. She wasn't just a player anymore. She was a cultural powerhouse, holding her own next to the biggest names in entertainment. That moment, a game changer. Interview. For years, the WNBA has struggled to crack into mainstream culture until Caitlin Clark arrived. A dynamic force on the court, her electrifying energy has drawn in fans who might never have considered watching women's basketball. Her record-shattering rookie season was just the beginning. Now, Clark isn't just making waves in sports, she's bridging the gap between athletics and entertainment. That viral moment with Taylor Swift wasn't just another celebrity sighting. It was a cultural crossover that rivaled Swift's own impact on the NFL. Suddenly, Swifties who'd never heard of Caitlyn were Googling her name, and WNBA ticket sales saw a boost. Think about it. After Swift's relationship with Travis Kelce became public, his jersey sales surged by 400%. Now imagine Swift courtside at a WNBA game, rocking a custom Caitlyn Clark jersey. The possibilities are endless, and critics are already taking notice. Whether they're ready or not, Clark is rewriting the narrative and proving she's here to stay. Interview. For years, the WNBA struggled to break into mainstream culture until Caitlyn Clark burst onto the scene. With her record-shattering rookie season, she didn't just play basketball, she transformed the conversation around it. Averaging 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game, Clark led the Indiana Fever from mediocrity to playoff contention in a single season. Her stats alone silence critics, but her impact goes beyond the numbers. Caitlyn Clark, fresh off her groundbreaking season, sitting alongside Taylor Swift at a Kansas City Chiefs game. The internet lit up, and suddenly, Swifties who'd never heard of Clark were looking her up. The timing couldn't have been better. Swift's romance with Travis Kelce was already dominating headlines, and Clark's presence made a bold statement. Women's basketball deserves a seat at the table. This wasn't just a publicity stunt. It was a cultural crossover of epic proportions, bridging sports and entertainment in a way few athletes have done. Swift's influence on Kelce saw his jersey sales soar by 400%. Imagine what her spotlight could do for the WNBA, from selling out arenas to sparking conversations in spaces that once ignored women's sports. She's a force. Her influence has already driven WNBA ticket sales up by 250%, made her jersey the league's top seller, and secured major sponsorship deals with brands like Nike, State Farm, and Gatorade. Locally, her NIL deal with Hy-Vee turned her into a regional icon, with Caitlyn Clark-branded cereal and basketballs flying off the shelves. The Caitlyn Clark effect is real, and it's rewriting the playbook for women's sports marketing. But with success comes scrutiny. Critics claim she's overhyped or receives special treatment, but her performances on the court tell a different story. From jaw-dropping buzzer beaters to game-changing assists, Clark's playstyle is a mix of precision, flair, and relentless intensity. Former coaches and rivals compare her competitive spirit to legends like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, while her creativity makes basketball look like an art form. Beyond the court, Clark is redefining what it means to be an athlete. Whether she's lighting up social media, engaging in pro and golf tournaments, or aligning herself with cultural icons like Swift, Clark is showing that sports stars can be versatile, multidimensional figures. She's not just participating in the game, she's transforming it. This isn't just about basketball. Clark's partnership with Taylor Swift highlights how sports and pop culture are increasingly intertwined. By aligning herself with one of the world's most influential figures, Clark isn't just boosting her profile, she's elevating the entire WNBA. Imagine Swift courtside at a Fever game, sporting a Caitlyn Clark jersey. Such moments could redefine the league's trajectory, bringing it closer to mainstream prominence. Of course, Clark's rise hasn't been without challenges. Rivalries, such as the one with Angel Reese, have sparked heated debates, even touching on sensitive topics like race and sexuality. The WNBA faces the task of navigating these narratives thoughtfully, ensuring the focus remains on the game and its stars. Still, Clark's journey is far from over. She's a pioneer paving the way for the future of women's sports. Her influence is undeniable, her impact is lasting, and her story's just beginning. What do you think Caitlyn Clark's legacy will mean for the WNBA? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into sports' biggest stories. Stay